God, I forgot how tight it is over here.
So the thing of filming at the Sullenberger that was so nice
spoiled us.
was that massive table.
Spoiled us. I can't get my phone in my pocket. What is going on?
Yeah, no, I need to make sure I'm on silent.
Oh, man.
It's like, so Suda with your daughter now kind of going into summer, it feels like the unofficial start of summer a little bit.
Summer is here. I think it's here.
Which is always great,
hot.
but yeah.
Getting hotter.
Thankfully, I think we get some relief this weekend or something.
Yeah,
with
some rain. We need some rain. We need rain,
But
man. We're in a drought.
That's what, when people tune into a watch channel, they really want to hear.
They want to hear about the weather.
After having the cool, big, like, plane
hear about us
backdrop.
fumbling with our pockets,
Yeah,
and weather,
no.
all this stuff. That's definitely, I guess
That's the highlight.
this episode's
Our
over
viewer
now.
retention has just
We're over.
gone through the thing.
We're over.
Okay.
There's some good banter, you know?
Some good banter, yeah, it's not bad. So it is the semi-unofficial start of summer when this comes out. Memorial Day will have come and gone, which is great.
Yeah.
I feel like it's that time when you kind of get more, I feel like more into sports watches in general in my collection.
It's casual time.
Yeah, but it's that kind of cool time. So we'll get into a lot of different fun things today. We have sort of a fun starting point of what are you wearing and then what am I wearing,
Yes.
which is the same thing. So it ties into both the motorsport we'll be talking about a little bit briefly, and then safety at a certain point. The main subject is Parmigiani, and we're going to do a fun little store tour here in a second. But today I am wearing my white dial Rolex Daytona. We just had the Canadian Grand Prix this past weekend.
Yeah.
That was the first F1 race I went to. And something that I think will be fun to discuss is the safety level you feel in different cities. When you went to the Austin Grand Prix a couple of years ago, that was also your watch.
That's right.
I think with, the brand, it's so deeply entrenched in motorsport that it's so cool to wear the thing to the place because it feels like it's within context. Yeah. And at some point, I think we'll have to do a trip.
You want to live the lifestyle and you want to feel you're wearing...
It taps into that we all want to be race car drivers when we're like little kids, and still now a little bit.
Semi-awkwardly, I am wearing the black dial variant of the same watch you're wearing. So love this watch. It's been tried and tested for so many years now. Newer generation has come out since. I personally love this full ceramic bezel versus the inlaid current bezel. They're both amazing. And a lot of energy behind this watch, a lot of demand for this watch. So it feels blasphemous to be both wearing one on camera, but that's the way it fell today.
Yeah.
But honored to have it. It's been a great little friend along the way.
Absolutely. Well, and to note, this was in 2023 and part of a very cool surprise for another friend that was like baked in. So it's just those really fun memories for our friend group and the enthusiast group at large in Charlotte. Definitely. I feel like really brings it home. But yeah, so let's talk about, so it's summertime. You're going to the beach, you're going to different areas. I feel like over the last couple of years, I've got to travel domestically quite a bit because my wife is with American. I feel like the world is not as scary of a place as most people make it seem. Yeah. With the asterisks of I'm never out at 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning in a town that I don't know. So, we touched on Montreal a little bit. When I was there, it was such an incredibly safe feeling weekend. And I think when F1 is in town anywhere, obviously security clamps down quite a bit. But, talk about, even when I lived in New York, we both did at one point. I even got weirded out when we went a couple of weeks ago just for a night. Yeah. But then you get there and you go, okay, as long as you're cognizant of, your surroundings.
Situational awareness.
Have everything insured. I think it's such a great thing to be able to travel with 1 or 2 watches and really enjoy them and have those cool memories.
I definitely think so too. At the same time, around the world now, you've got cities, and it can happen anywhere, first of all, but you've got cities where people just feel that they cannot wear a luxury timepiece anymore, and you've got people that feel everyone wants them. More and more people in the world are aware of what is a luxury timepiece, and what brand has what value and all these things. And things that used to be a little bit more if you know items are now very much in the cultural zeitgeist of society. And for that reason, you do have to be smart about where you wear some things, because there are unfortunately people out there doing nefarious things and trying to rob people, frankly.
Absolutely.
Which is not really maybe the best way to introduce a brand that we just launched.
It's not,
but, I guess the way to put this is there's something to be said in today's world about quiet luxury or personal luxury.
Yeah.
And there's a brand that probably exemplifies that more than any others right now, and that is Parmigiani.
Yeah.
Parmigiani Fleurier.
Hugely.
Beautiful brand, historical brand at this point. That's been 30 years, which I consider pretty solid history. Though it doesn't have quite the 200-year history of some brands, but the founder is still alive, Michel Parmigiani.
Yeah.
Wonderful gentleman, and he is truly not just a founder, but he's an innovator. He's a creator, and just a great gentleman. And he's really created something special, along with the current CEO named Guido Tereni, who is really, I think, bringing a good energy to the brand and really bringing it to the next level in today's world. So in a world in which, sometimes wearing a solid gold, X, Y, and Z watch, or even a stainless X, Y, and Z watch in an international city can feel like you have a bit of a spotlight on you.
Yeah.
Parmigiani is a very personal brand. It says a lot without saying a lot. And I think it's something
And I think that comes down to, with different brands, there's different definitions of luxury. So, we're talking about a quite popular chronograph that there are just a lot of examples of out there in the world, right? When it comes to a Parmigiani, they're making 3,000 examples a year total.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what some brands would do in a day or a morning.
Model. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So I think they're wonderfully understated, and it ties perfectly what we were talking about previously, because it is so understated, and it gets back to that place of a true, only if you know kind of what you're seeing on somebody's wrist. So we're gonna try something different today. I kind of feel like I've gone to bed and forgot to get my glass of water. We're just gonna live walk over and show the case and grab a couple watches and then come back here.
Let's go on a journey.
We'll give you a little behind the scenes. So this is all no cuts here. So we are going to pull you off the tripod.
You can watch me awkwardly.
I know, so I'm going to zoom out. So this is our total kind of filming area. You can see a little sneak peek of the store as we walk over.
Watch me check my phone.
Yeah, I know. The natural impulse. It is worth noting that the Windsor Times section is right here on your right. So some of our offerings there for that. But the main thing that we're talking about today is Parmigiani.
Right,
so what do we got?
Here at Parmigiani. See if we can open the case. We won't talk about every model here, but we wanted to just introduce a few. I guess one talking point, Watches and Wonders this year, they released something very innovative. It was called the Mystery Chrono. Chrono Mysterio. I don't know.
We'll put it on the screen.
French is rough. Yeah, put it up there. We don't have that yet. It's coming in about a month and a half. But it was a huge talking point of the show, and really something special. For the last 3 or 4 years, every Watches and Wonders, Parmigiani has introduced a pretty new innovation and something that has not been done in the world of watchmaking. And the Mystery Chronograph this year was one of those items. So as soon as we have that, we will introduce it to our local market here. But some things we do have. This beautiful mineral blue chronograph, Tunda PF chronograph, which is
so good,
so beautiful, awesome colorway.
Extra B-roll shots of that too. Yeah, so let's go ahead and throw that on the tray.
Yep, you got it.
Let's grab. It's like a kid in a candy store.
Grab a couple. Probably this
guy,
Milano blue piece. Yeah. This guy.
And then I think to finish it off, their dial colors are so amazing.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
let's do this guy. Awesome. Back over we go.
Going back on
Actually,
our way.
Actually, looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll take it back over to our little.
I'm OCD. I'm setting the hands to 10:10 or 10:08.
True industry guy.
That's right. You got to.
There we
Let's go on our journey. Our journey back.
Back we go to our corner.
We'll go this way. I didn't know we were going back, so this is
surprise,
it's a journey
surprise.
for everyone.
Oh, here we go. All right, go ahead and get this clicked back into our tripod and redo our framing here.
Here we are.
All right, there we go. Perfect.
Cool.
So hope you guys enjoyed the tour there. Fun. It's almost like a candy store.
I can't wait to expand the store too. We'll have so much more down the road.
We'll have at least 2 spots to sit at the rolling table.
That's right.
Okay,
Where are we
so
starting?
I say we start with the chronograph.
Yeah, I started talking about it at the sales table there. So, Tonda PF Chrono, mineral blue. What's really special about any of these watches, almost, I guess every model they make currently at least has a hand guilloche dial.
Yeah.
And this I think shows it off so well in mineral blue because you just really see the level of detail, sunken subdials. This is about as busy as a Parmigiani gets currently, unless you start to get into maybe the skeletonized dial, that type of thing. So purely chronograph. It's time, hour, minute, and chronograph. There's no date, no other functionality. It's really just clean, yet still has the 3 subdials for chrono. So nothing crazy to report there. Full rotor, whereas a lot of the Tondas have become known for the micro rotor movement. So this is a full gold rotor.
The 2 that we have here are both micro. Yeah.
But beautiful too because it's really a pure, fully integrated chronograph movement. It's not a modular movement. It's not what a lot of people do. It's chronograph forward in terms of actually constructing the movement, which I think is really special.
Yeah. And
like all 3 of these watches, we grabbed watches from essentially the same family, but you can see the lugs, just very sculptural.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's almost like, when you get into brands like AP or something like that, it's very rigid and architectural almost.
Yeah.
This is like a very natural looking
Yeah,
case
I
shape,
agree
if that
with
makes
you.
sense.
It's
It's like
a
a
little
very
little
fluid,
organic. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way they do colors. Again, I think good design is the art of having the perfect amount of nothing, if you will.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's easy to throw a bunch of designs and different things on a watch to make it look crowded and complicated and cool, but to do something, especially a chronograph like this, and then the mystery that you mentioned is even more mind-blowing. I think is just really incredible. And the bracelet. Their bracelets,
super supple.
Straps are incredible too.
Yeah.
There's I think one chronograph in rose gold over there that's on a strap, but the bracelet are just phenomenal on these.
I'm chomping at the bit to say something back about the color, which has been really funny because as we're getting to know the brand, there's been a lot of times we're like, the light blue one, or we're going to do the Tonda dual time and the lighter green blue one. But what's cool is the color palette they're using. No color is exactly the same, and therefore you've got Versasca green, you've got mineral blue, you've got agave blue, you've got Milano blue being darker, but the 3 aforementioned colors all kind of walk in the same world. And if you were just from the outside looking at a billboard showing the watch, you would see a lighter bluish green colorway, but they have different iterations of each of those depending on the model. So they've really catered these off the beaten path lighter colors and darker colors to each model depending on the exact movement that's in it, which is very cool. So it's not like they just use mineral blue across the board as a light color. They use it just on particular things. Same with the Versasca, same with Milano and agave. So very cool. And it's other brands do that, but they've done it in a very tasteful way.
I think that's what makes them that further step of unique, if you will, because you see a lot of trends, and watch design goes in I think 5 to 10 year increments, if you will. But a lot of times it feels like there's a year where everybody's just doing a purple dial. Everybody's doing a blue, everybody's doing a green. But the uniqueness, even in this blue. I
love that blue. Reads like a black depending on the light.
It does read quite like a black, but then it's this beautiful, almost midnight navy that is just incredible. And then obviously this is a dual time.
Yeah. So this is a really big innovation. We'll just jump into that.
Yeah.
So first of all 3 of these watches are stainless steel with platinum bezels.
Yes.
They make other watches that are rose gold. They make other watches that are solid platinum. Don't believe they do any white gold, but in this case, these are all 3 stainless with a knurled or almost fluted, but knurled platinum bezel. Guilloche again. But what's really cool about this watch is you have a quick set. I'll just grab it.
Yeah.
You have a dual time function. travel time function, which is so easy to use. Now there are other brands that have that, like a pusher that does that. But what's amazing and innovative about this watch is instead of pushing this back to cover the original hand, your home time and away time, you literally have a rattrapant feature. So a button that just moves that hour, jumps it automatically back to cover your home time.
Yeah.
So when you're done traveling, boom, you just pop right back. What's equally and probably the most impressive about that is the watch will mechanically and intelligently travel that hand back the shortest distance depending on where the hour
so it's
hand.
not
so,
just
yeah,
one
so
direction.
Like it doesn't just go back clockwise each time or counterclockwise. If the hand is, at 3 p.m. and the other hand is at 9, it's gonna, or I guess 10, it's gonna travel the shortest distance. In that case, I don't know what it does, but it's exactly across, admittedly. But it's always gonna travel the shortest distance back, so it's mechanically smart enough to know that, which is just super. And that is definitely not something they needed to innovate on, but they did.
No.
They were like, we're not just gonna do a rattrapant GMT hand that pops back.
Yeah.
We're gonna also make it smart, which is just so cool.
Incredible.
But then when you're not using the dual time, this becomes a very refined,
it's
low-key, less is more piece that's just elegant to look at. So,
and again,
and still serves the purpose of a sports model too. It's like a dress sport watch. It really does so many things.
And just the way they do pushers is so incredible.
Very
On the
integrated.
chronograph as well, I didn't mention it,
Yeah.
but here, I mean, it just, again, if now that we've been looking at it, I can see it. But if you aren't paying attention, it almost just blends beautifully into that very fluid case.
Yeah. I love the
which is
little
great.
detail of the alternate color on the rattrapant pusher too. So
That
it's
is
not like they
cool,
just did
yeah.
a stainless pusher. It's like a golden color essentially. So it's just a nice aesthetic detail that kind of ties back to the home time hand that's under there is basically a similar color. So it's a nice little connecting point, which is cool.
So killer.
And this does show off the awesome micro rotor movement.
Yeah.
Which is just so beautiful. God, so beautiful.
Amazing. So let's get into our third and final.
Third and
here.
most simple in this case.
This is, it's almost like a honey taupe gold.
Yeah. They call it
just
sienna
killer.
gold.
Sienna
but
gold.
Once again, it's different than what's out there. Even though there's a few beiges and tans entering the market now, this is still different than that. It's like a burnt gold almost, or a lighter burnt gold. It's
so good.
And it shows off, again, a similar guilloche, but shows it off in a different way. It just looks different under each light and color. And
it does.
Time only in this case, so very quintessentially.
Well, and even going off of that though, the cool thing, I feel like a lot of brands will start here and then they will just try to tack stuff on top of this base design. But in all three of these examples, it feels very organic and still true to the design as a standalone thing. It doesn't feel like they were just trying to get the most out of this case that they could.
Yeah.
It felt like all of these different iterations here, and I think because they go to that extra step of, again, concealing the travel time hand, it goes back to that original DNA, and it doesn't feel like a watch that's necessarily trying to meet a board's expectation or a larger
It's not meeting
thing.
a board, and it's not modular. They're making individual movements to make sure that each watch is unique, which is super cool. And this is so thin.
I was going to say the thinness on the time only is they're all quite thin.
They all have a
but
nice sculptural curve to them for the wrist too.
They do,
this is the bracelet, and I feel like I notice it more on the. Maybe it is more curved, but I think this classic Tonda is it just shows it off better. But beautiful watches, and then the mystery chrono, which once again I'm sure we'll put up on the screen because we don't have that in person yet.
Yeah.
Once again, for all intents and purposes, it wears a lot like this watch, but it feels like a totally different watch, even though the pusher's in the same place and everything. But it doesn't feel just modular; it's a whole different movement, which is so cool. And that thing is just unbelievable. But all of these are in different ways. It is. It's a really quiet but refreshing brand is the way I'm looking at it, and it's truly for someone who is not trying to say something to the world. They're happy with who they are, and they're happy with being low key and just enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Obviously, I've started here now full time, but even before, I know when you were talking about it from an enthusiast perspective, and a bit to kind of, you won't toot your own horn, so I will a little bit. This is the only place in the Carolinas that you consider. I think the next closest is Atlanta. I mean, it's cool to have these here.
We feel privileged to have them.
Yeah.
We're excited that we jumped on the brand. At the same time, it's probably not for everyone. So from the mercantile standpoint, it is a little bit of an enthusiast forward, if you know type watch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are only so many points of sale. I mean, I think there's 17 or 18, maybe 19 now in the whole country, or possibly North America. So we're privileged to have it, and we're excited to have it here. So
with only 3,000 watches a year, you can only have so many doors. So it's cool.
That's a very good point. So it's once again to hit on that number, it's a very low production brand that I mean, each watch is very special.
Yeah, I won't make any direct comparison to other independent or micro. I'm getting lost a little bit in my own words. I won't make any other comparisons, but I think in the independent watchmaking space and the just smaller brand space, this is one that reminds me of a lot of others that are now going 2, 3, 4, 5x over. And that's not why we buy these things, but I think it is an interesting testament that this is a brand that you can walk in right now and they're in the case.
That's correct.
Now, there's not many cases, but you can come in and get this thing now.
Yeah, but they are moving. I mean, like for example, we wanted to pull a Toric. Toric's a wonderful collection within the brand, and we have sold through them, so we don't have one in the case right now.
Beautiful. That was the platinum, I believe.
Beautiful watch.
Incredible piece.
But I agree, it's something that I mean, speaking candidly, like think of FP Journe. I walked in and bought an FP Journe a decade ago in New Orleans at a multi-brand retailer.
Yep.
And at that point, you could just walk in, buy the watch in the counter. I'm not saying exactly that's where this brand is now, because I think this is a more maybe elegant brand than where that brand was at the time.
Yeah.
But all it takes is a little bit of energy behind a brand, and this brand's got it regardless. Like, it doesn't need energy, but Journe obviously has gone into the stratosphere in terms of where the brand has positioned itself and started pricing itself compared to where it was a decade ago. And the watches have not changed that much along the way. So it's an interesting.
I wasn't going to make that exact thing, but I think it's good to say.
It's kind of where I think that's where just a good analogy, but it's not. They're very different brands at the same time. So there's not a direct comparison, but it's in terms of like brand positioning. This feels like where they were a decade ago.
Yeah. Okay. To close out here.
Yeah.
3 incredible watches. If you had to pick one.
Oh God.
Which one are you picking?
Colorway wise, the mineral blue chrono really does it for me, but I keep telling myself functionality wise, I like the dual time, I think the best. So I would probably be going with the Milano blue dual time in this case. How about yourself?
Did we have the, what was that? God, the word's escaping me. It was like that lighter teal-ish.
Version of
that.
Talking about, it's the Versace green.
Yeah, that was.
We have had it. It has come and gone, and we have another one pre-sold. So it's coming, but that's kind of like a banner model, if you will. And that's a great piece. So they're all cool. That's the thing. Gotta catch them all like Pokemon.
Yeah, we'll get lots of fun shots. But I think that's a wonderful intro to fully close out here. In the next year or so, what are you most excited about with the brand?
Oh man. Well, first of all, having the novelties land from Watches and Wonders because they're exciting.
Sure.
We're looking forward to doing some events with them, getting to know the brand better. I mean, this was a history of Parmigiani, but the reality is we're still getting to know them when we just launched it. So it's just becoming more entrenched with the brand and being good stewards of the brand and putting them on people's wrists, making people happy.
I love it. Awesome. Like we said, available currently in the Charlotte location. Come in and check them out, try them on. It's one thing to see them online, but with, again, any of this stuff to come in and get hands-on with them in the metal, I think helps fully solidify what is just so special about these pieces.
Totally.
So, absolutely. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, man.
Matching watches and all. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.